What's up, guys? So I'm going to go over ticker SMCI or super microcomputer. I'm going to do an individual video for this because I want to elaborate as far as what I'm ultimately seeing, and I think there's a big move here coming pretty soon. But before I get into this chart anymore, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, leave a comment below. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets me know to continue to do these videos. And ultimately, I want to help more people, so if you could do me that favor, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're not in this Discord, it's completely free for right now. I post my entries, exits, my thoughts throughout the day, and what I've made on the trade percentage wise. It's completely free for right now. Check it out. You can see if I'm bullshitting or not, but I post all my trades that are worthwhile in here. I do take trades outside that I don't post in here, and those are usually not the A plus setups. I'm posting the ones I think could be potentially really good or have a high probability of being a good trade. So, like I said, links in the description below. Check it out. It's free for right now. It won't always be free. Take advantage of this. Eventually, it will cost money. My thoughts are that I will charge significantly less than what I paid for courses and chat rooms. And I want it to be accessible to pretty much anybody. But at the same time, I'm devoting a lot of my time to these videos, and my time is valuable. I quit my job to be able to do this full time and make more money. And one of the things I miss about my job is being in a leadership role and being able to mentor and teach people. So I enjoy doing this, but it is sucking away more of my free time. So there will come a time where it's not free. So, like I said, take advantage of it. Ask me any questions you have. Like I said, links in the description below. Check it out. But let's get into this chart. I'm going to start with the big picture again and just break it down kind of what I'm seeing. So you can see we're at a 92-hour SI on the monthly chart. We are very extended from the 8 period and the 20. We have been very extended in the past, though, and that ultimately led to consolidation of up to 36%, where we retouched the 8 and continued forward. So this will consolidate at some point. On the weekly chart, I thought this was a third weekly inside bar, but it was not actually. We broke it by $2, which on this stock is not even $2. On this stock is pretty much nothing. We're holding the 8. We're above the 20. We're extended from the 20, but we came back, retested the 8, and now we're tightening up. You can see volumes tapering off. This is what you want to see after a big push up. See this massive volume push to the upside, volume's increasing, and now we have decreasing volume, and it's really low. Like last week's volume, I know it was a holiday week, but you're going back to like when we were in consolidation last time. Even here, that's not anywhere near this pump up here. You know what I mean? So it's not really that concerning. We have a lot of trading days left. We have 2 more, so maybe we close the week up near here. That's still really low. It's tightening volume. And what that's telling me is we're tightening up here, which is why I'm making a separate video for this stock, because I want to elaborate a little bit more on this. And to me, this could be a weekly bull flag, pennant, whatever you want to say, for a continuation for one more push up and give us one more all-time high, which would create ultimately some bearish divergence on this weekly chart where price is making higher highs, your indicators making lower highs, and then we sell off in a meaningful way and get our bigger pullback. So keep in mind that this could actually happen. Initially, when we started to sell off, I said there was pretty much a 0% chance we hit a new all-time high, but you have to be able to adjust your game plan and your thesis to what the market's telling you. What this stock is telling me is that volume's low, we're still really healthy, and we could easily push up for one more leg on the weekly chart before we hit this bearish divergence sell-off. We did that back here where we came all the way up here, retested the 8, then made one more push, created the bearish divergence, and then sold off. And that was our monthly sell-off for 36%. So that could end up happening here. And we have earnings here in about 3 weeks. I saw someone saying that this would bleed into the earnings, but this is my thoughts right now, right? So we had earnings here, right? And we broke out of our consolidation a few weeks into that earnings, and then they were good, and we continue to push up. I think bulls are expecting the earnings to be good, so I can see us pushing into those earnings, breaking out a couple weeks into earnings. Maybe they're not as good as what everyone thinks, and then we sell off. Who knows? But you have to think about the psychology here, and the psychology to me is saying that bulls probably are going to try to run this into earnings. The only wrench that could throw this out the window from my observation is the market as a whole, which I went over in a separate video if you want to check that out. I talk about how we are looking for a 5 to 10% pullback within a couple months here, and I go over those charts on a daily basis. Check that out. This is separate because I want to elaborate more on what I'm seeing on this chart specifically. So on the daily chart, this is getting choppy. This is exactly what I was saying as a reason why I don't really want to trade this right now, is because it could chop up your account. I am bearish this in the longer term, like next 6 months. I think we're coming down and in a big way. But in the meantime, you have opportunity costs. If you're playing options, you have theta, your vega, and you have to sit through red. It makes sense to short when you get that signal. And right now, there's nothing overly bearish about this stock right now. We're in a monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend. The daily is in a downtrend, right? So here you have your push down, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low. So it's getting a little choppy, right? So the way I looked at this then is I decided I would go to the 2-day chart, and I used this on the stock during this run up here. You can see it held that 8 exponential for a long time. Once we lost it, that's when we got our flush down. I usually only use this if I need a little bit more clarity. And you can see since we had that chop, right? So ever since our short that I was targeting at 1100, it's been a little choppy on the daily chart, but on the 2-day chart, we're still pulling back, looking for our higher low compared to this low down here. So 855.08 is your low on the 2-day chart, and you're looking to set a higher low compared to that on your 2-day chart. We're bouncing off the 20. We're closing above the 8. You can see even here, we closed slightly below it. These other two candles, we're starting to close above it now. The volume is very low, and that's telling me an explosive move's coming. This could very well be setting up something like this right here. So we have our push up, higher low compared to this low on the 2-day chart, lower high, trying for a higher low, so you're tightening up. There's your all-time high, this, that level, and then maybe this level. These green lines right here, I have drawn out for the weekly bar to see if we break out of it. Like I said, we poked below it by like $1 and some change, and on a stock like this, that's nothing, especially with how liquid it is. So if we push up and break this level right here, 1106.11, I think we could really squeeze, because like I said, I'm bearish this. I know there's a lot of bears eyeing this up for longer term shorts. They don't always make it easy, and I don't think they'll make it easy this time either. Volume's tapering off. You can see it even on this chart. So what I would want to see is for us to come up to this level, this 1106.11, and an uptick in volume. As we squeeze shorts out, push for an all-time high run again, set that weekly bearish divergence, short that weekly bearish divergence once there's a signal. I think the next trade could be this to hold and us to try one more time for an all-time high push. And with how we tighten up, how volume has dropped off, you know shorts are loading here, thinking that this is going to come down because we are extended. We push shorts out one more time, create that weekly bearish divergence, and then sell off. That's what I'm starting to think is likely to happen. just based off this. That's the thesis that I'm going with going forward. The only thing I can throw a wrench into all this is the actual market. We have jobs numbers coming out at 8:30, 6 Fed members speaking throughout the day, and then we have a bunch of data coming out on Friday that can impact the markets as far as non-farm payrolls, unemployment, and then we have more Fed members speaking. So there's a lot of volatility coming as far as events in the actual market, which could impact this overall. But my thesis has changed, and the best traders are willing to pivot and adjust with the market information that is generated because we're always giving new data. And this is telling me that there's nothing wrong with this chart at all to the bulls. We did pull back. We're trying to set our weekly higher low. Inside bar, bear break by $1, which could actually be a false signal saying we actually want to go bullish, which is why I just showed the 2-day chart to get a little more clarity here. And if we break this, like until we break this, I wouldn't be overly concerned, but we are tightening up here. Think about like a soda bottle being shaken up, it eventually explodes. So we're going to get an explosive move out of here, and it could be to the upside. Be mindful of that if you're shorting this stock. I'm a bear on this stock longer term, and I might play that break. If we get the volume and the setup looks good, I might play that. Right now, as far as the hourly chart, this is what I have drawn out as far as a trend line. So you can see we have a touch here, 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 and I'm going off of closes. So this is definitely valid. If we start closing above that, that'll be something to note. And then the trend line right above it, I'm going off of wicks. So you have a touch here, 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 and almost touched here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. If we close above this dotted one and then get any price action above this one, that's some kind of trend change going forward. You can see on this chart too, this is not that bearish. We have pushed up, setting an hourly higher low. If we break today's high, that's a trend change as well coming into the zone. This is what I was saying is our new zone since we shorted it up here. But this is really where I think is a lot more resistance. Ultimately need to take 11.06.11 for us to be bullish bigger picture, and we will see what develops from here. But I wanted to go over this because, like I said, I've been bearish this stock, and you can see the bulls are still in this pretty actively. Volume's low. All it takes is an uptick in volume and start squeezing shorts, and this thing goes for an all-time high run again. You see that this buy zone right here held up again today from our bull flag over here. And this looks like it's getting primed for potentially another all-time high run. So I just wanted to make a video on this and kind of elaborate a lot more on it, on what I'm seeing, as well as covered a bigger picture that we are extended, but this could make that last push up yet. And that's what I was saying to people in the Discord today, that we can't be overly bearish as stock just because we are tightening up, volumes coming down, and bears really don't have that much control over this. If you look at the monthly, weekly, and the 2-day chart, we're just tightening up on the 2-day chart, and we're overall bullish on the bigger time frame. So I want to see bulls start to break this trend line, and then see if we can continue forward into this sell zone I have, and then ultimately up here and take 11.06.11 and push for an all-time high. I want to see increasing volume, massive volume compared to what we have right now. This is low. So I want to see a spike in volume to tell me that bulls are committing to this, and no red flags as far as reversal candles in sell zones I have. And I'll probably play this bullish. So, but that's all I have for SMCI. Like I said, I did a video before this as far as the overall market. If you want to check that out, I talk about that and how that could impact the market as a whole. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button, leave a comment below. It gives me the feedback to let me know to keep doing these videos. I want to teach people. I want to help everyone. And it'll help me reach more people as well. If you're not in this Discord, the link's in the description below. It's completely free. I post my entries, exits, my theses, my thought processes. I'm doing a growth account challenge where I deposit $100 every week into this account and going to show people how I would grow a small account if I was just starting out. It's free. It's not always going to be free. My thoughts are it eventually will cost money. I want to make it significantly cheaper than anything I paid for as far as courses and chat rooms because I want it to be easily accessible to people, but my time's valuable. And I didn't quit my job to give all my free time to helping people grow in trading. I love doing it. It's one thing I miss about my previous job before this is being in leadership and helping people, mentoring them. But at the same time, I only have so much time, so I will eventually charge money for this. It will be relatively low though. But in the meantime, it's free. You can check it out. Call me out on my bullshit if you think that I don't know what I'm talking about. Everything's posted in here as far as my thoughts, my trades, everything. So, but that's all I have for SMCI. I'm going to update this more regularly. And until next time, I wish everyone the best in the market.